Good morning, First Christian Church. Here we are with Chats with Mickey and Catherine, and we're glad to be back with you today. And we wanted to come to you today because Catherine's got some news to share. So, Catherine, what's your latest news?
So, as we all know, this past year has been far from anything I have ever expected or you expected. It's been quite a ride. So, a few months ago, we began some conversations about me and how this job is going alongside my health and just is it sustainable? What is this looking like? And should we start considering the possibility of me going on disability just to provide some space to just take care of myself? And I wrestled with that so much because I came here and had such great conversations with the search committee and we dreamed together and I had so many hopes for what this was going to be, and then 2 weeks in I get told I have cancer. And so that was a very big hiccup. And so since then I've just been like, okay, if I wait a couple more days, maybe this will all get easier. Maybe life on chemo will somehow get easier if I just get to that next cycle.
And I happen to know you've really had some bad days.
Just
some days have been really hard for you to do this. And
yeah.
You told me the other day that you went home, you slept 14 hours.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. It's been this weird balance of how much energy it takes to just get here some days.
Right.
And then as soon as I go home, I'm like, is making dinner worth it? Or should I just go to sleep? Which is not a healthy practice. But it was a lot of me trying to show up in any way I possibly could and just try to make it a little bit longer.
And one of the things that I've noted, and everybody needs to know, you didn't always let everybody know how hard it was on you. Do you know that, don't you?
So I have had a chronic illness my whole life. I have suffered with IBS and probably celiac disease. And so showing up and masking all of that is a habit that I've been practicing since I think I was about 10. And so I don't even realize I'm doing it. But that alongside, I wanted to be your minister. I didn't want to be somebody with cancer. I still don't want to be somebody that's dealing with cancer.
Sure.
And so some of it was presenting for you, and some of it was trying to convince myself I was fine.
Yeah.
And that I wasn't doing this every day, and that it maybe if I just forgot about it, it would go away.
And
Doesn't work.
There was some hope that you were, when you got into a new treatment, that you might be able to cope with that better.
Yeah. I think the whole time getting to maintenance was the goal because it would tie me to the hospital less. And so when October hit and I did get onto maintenance and that was not what happened, that's kind of when I had my breakdown and I left and took a leave for 14 days and just struggled of this is still hard and this is not improving, and I'm not having to go back and forth to UK 4 times a week, but I still have to go, and daily chemo pills, which look like somewhere from 2 to 16 chemo pills alone, then add in the other things. It's just been hard.
Yeah.
And I think that I just had a lot of false hope around that and hoping that it would just get easier because they were pills you could take at home. And so with all of that, on Friday, I got a call, which was a lot sooner than I had anticipated, but that I had been approved for disability. I did apply back in January to kind of sort through that option and still kind of feel out if it was the right one. And so when I received that call, I think if you had asked me 5 minutes before, I would have been like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And when I heard those words that I was qualified for full disability, there was just this sense of relief that I could just take care of myself and that was a real option. And while that felt hard, it also felt very right and good. And so while I'm saying this with a lot of sadness, because I still so much want to be here and fulfill all those dreams that we had together, I'm happy to have the opportunity to just take care of myself for a little bit and choose me, because in order for me to continue after chemo, I need to take care of my body now.
Right.
And so, yeah.
And so the disabilities officially come through, and what's the plan now?
So, we are in the middle of this baptism class, and I am going to finish that. That is a big thing for me. We are having such a good time still and asking a lot of big questions. So, talked to Mickey and Julie, and we have all decided that the 27th, I will finish with the baptism, and we will celebrate, and it will be wonderful. And then I will step away from this position. That will be my final day. But I am staying in Danville. I don't have any plans at the moment other than to spend some more time outside and to just rest. And when I'm sick, just be sick, which I think is more than anything the big thing, because I've been wrestling with, when I'm sick, okay, be sick, and now let's go to work, or let's think about work. And that balance is a lot.
I hear stress is not good for people who are sick.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's very much just, at the moment, I don't have any plans other than to just be, and to be sick and rest and heal. And really, it's to heal.
Yeah, right. Now, you've told a few people. How have those people reacted?
There's been some sadness and some tears on their end and mine. But I think one of the biggest things has been, I told Susan Hensley, and she said that it is an answer to a prayer. And it is a hard prayer to pray for this, particularly when you want somebody around and to continue doing that work together. But I appreciate that this has been a prayer on multiple people's hearts, and that makes it in some ways even harder, because this is such a wonderful and caring congregation, and the ways that the support has just overwhelmed me this past year, and the love and the grace. I have such deep care for all of you, and that makes it hard to step away, and the reason why I've been trying every avenue I can possibly think of to show up. But it's just not worked.
So on behalf of the church, I want to thank you for your heroic efforts to do this job. You have done the very best you can, and you have such skills for ministry, and you've brought such a great joy and blessing to this church. And this church does love you, and loving you means letting you do what you need to heal. And we are, on behalf of the whole church, we want to thank you and promise our support. And since you're still going to be in the community, we're still going to try to keep in touch and give you our love and support, because we don't want you to be isolated. We want you to be a part of this community, and we're going to keep loving you. But it's a sad story that we have to bring to you, and a good story. It is, as Susan said, the answer to prayer. We've all prayed for Catherine's health, and we've prayed for the best for her. And I'm convinced that every person in this church wants the very best for Catherine. And right now, this is the best thing for her. And we are supporting her and are all for it and praying for you. We love you.
Thank you.
And pray that going forward, you will get healthier and have a good and long, prosperous, healthy future ahead of you. And taking care of yourself right now is the most important thing. So we wanted to bring this message to you personally and let you hear a little bit about how Catherine perceives it, and so anyway, that's the message for today. Pray for Catherine as we all move forward together.